So you open up the storybook and you're looking for the perfect hotel and you see the Prince of Wales Hotel. I mean, it is so beautiful, situated in the beautiful snow around the park. It is magnificent. And I get a chance to talk to the general manager, Kelly. Kelly,
hi.
You're almost as beautiful as your hotel.
You're so kind.
I gotta tell you, it is breathtaking just to see this on the corner. Someone told me this is one of the most photographed corners in all of Niagara.
Absolutely, it's incredible. The people that come by and you just look out and they're snapping pictures, and we'll help with that too.
Yeah,
so.
when you walk up to the place, you don't walk right in. You gotta stand and sort of take it in. It's almost a block long, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. We get quite a few guests coming in just to take photographs of the lobby and look around. It's pretty.
And people who stay here obviously go to the tea room, but I imagine people that live here go check out the tea room too, huh?
We have quite a few locals. It's a traditional high tea, and you don't have that in very many spots. So yes, it's very popular.
This is called Escabeche.
Escabeche.
This is the Four Diamond restaurant.
Restaurant, yes.
Look at this. This is the kind of stuff you see here. Like, look at this little thing on the door here. Everywhere you look, there's a little treasure, huh?
Great details, fine details.
Well, we're going to go in there and talk to Chris, the chef, a little bit later, and check out the tea room.
Yes.
But this is the lobby. This is the first place I encountered when I came in, and I just thought that this laser cut floor was magnificent. I thought, who painted this thing? He said, no, it's just all little pieces.
It's all little pieces. It's like a big puzzle. It's made of Brazilian cherry and white oak. It's beautiful. It's a full inlay. It's like a big puzzle. It took the gentleman almost 8 months to finish.
And look at this. Talk about a beautiful puzzle.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Stained glass. There's over 10,000 pieces of stained glass. It took him a year to finish that. Yes.
It's magnificent. And who are the naked kids dancing down there?
It's a beautiful sculpture. They were actually made in Italy by the Cervetti family.
I like this too. Like, okay, now what's the significance of all these icicles hanging around here? What's going on?
It's ice wine.
Ice wine week? Ice wine 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks. It was in Jordan last weekend, and we get to host it in Niagara-On-The-Lake this weekend. Big Canadian festival celebrating what we do best here in Canada, ice wine. Very popular. We're looking forward to it. Yes.
Well, I got to tell you another thing too. When I got my room, I went to my room, and you see these big old beautiful hotels, and sometimes the big old beautiful hotels have rooms that maybe they need a little help, but the rooms here are magnificent. I mean, they're ahead of the curve, aren't they?
Yes, during the renovation process, we tried to keep to the period, and every room is completely different. The colors in the fabrics, the wallpaper, the carpeting, it's every room is unique, very fitting to the style of the property.
And how about spa?
Spa, beautiful, Secret Garden Spa.
Secret Garden?
Secret Garden.
No, it's not a secret anymore.
It's not a secret. It's beautiful. We offer tea treatments to fit with the high tea, so the product is all natural, organic. You can almost eat it, believe it or not, but it's lovely.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I'm really looking forward to doing this show because there's sort of the food culture has evolved so much here. The food, the wine, the whole region, and this hotel really is sort of like a cornerstone of that, isn't it?
It's incredible to come here. I think, a hotel restaurant especially, you kind of sometimes, it's not somewhere you'd think to go, but the dining is exquisite. The chef is wonderful. You'll get to meet him. And the food, the wine, the sommelier, it's such a great experience.
And we're right on Lake Ontario, right?
Yes, you are, yes.
Are those freshwater pearls?
No. Wish they were.
You're beautiful. Your hotel is beautiful.
Thank you
and I'm going to go run into Chris here and find out what's going on in the kitchen over here.
Absolutely.
Thanks
for coming.
Thank you. Such a beautiful hotel, you'd expect beautiful food. That's why Chris is the executive chef. How do you do?
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. A beautiful place indeed here. When you get into the kitchen and start firing up, how many people are you firing up for, like for this room?
For this room, we do approximately anywhere from 90 to 120 comfortably.
So you're knocking it out. And we're talking what? How do they do it here? Is it 5 diamonds, 5 stars?
It's actually a 4-diamond property. We strive for a nice high level of 4 diamonds, and with the French background, it's a great environment for sure.
Okay, we said French. Say the name of the room for me. The hotel. It's Escabeche. Escabeche.
Yes, that's actually a preservation of fish, and it's either French or it actually has a Spanish influence as well too.
We got a big lake out there, so do you get your fish from that lake?
There is actually fish that we get from the Great Lakes, but not specifically from Lake Ontario. We do get some from Lake Erie, so we have some good locality there.
Okay, so what's the philosophy behind your kitchen, your cooking?
We tend to steer towards local, seasonal as much as possible. Because of the 4 seasons with our location, it's not always the easiest to do, but we steer towards that as much as possible.
It's a great looking room, I'll tell you that. So you've got this room here, so you get that out there, you get like sunlight and moonlight and that sort of thing in that area.
Absolutely.
What do you call this area here?
This is just our central dining room. It's more of, the most desirable area would be the solarium, where we do have all the open glass and it looks onto the street. But this whole area is preferred.
It is beautiful. I love the cut glass in here, and it leads right into the lounge with the fireplace.
Absolutely.
Terrific. Okay, so you're going to get on the phone and brag to your buddies about your best dishes. What are they?
So what we have starting here, we've got an actual bison tenderloin. So it's a very lean cut of meat, high protein, but it's becoming a lot more popular, the game meats. It's not too gamey, so it works very well. You can see it's extremely lean, so there's not a lot of marbling, but there is that nice wild flavor to it.
And this must be...
We have some of our local preserved Bermuda onions. They're a red style onion, but they're pickled in a red wine vinegar. So we have some nice pickled produce that we've got from the local farms in the summer, and we preserve them a little bit. We do a little bit of that here and there. Focusing on some of our produce. We have king oyster mushrooms. These are Chioggia beets. So these are little baby beets. They're candy stripe. So if you break them open, they have a nice little ring attached to them. So they take on the name as candy stripe beets.
Is that a sweet item?
It is. It's definitely a sweeter beet. We have a little cipollini onions, hedgehog mushrooms, and some baby carrots. So we're just going to do a little saute of some of the vegetable fare that we have here. And it's a very quick dish, and a seared bison tenderloin, and quick little plating, a little bit of a reduction of red wine and veal bones, and then that's it.
Big draw for me is the bar. I want to check that out. And if I want to talk to somebody about wine, that would be Fred, right?
That would be Fred, absolutely. He's our chief sommelier, and he does a great job for us.
Soon, we're on to Fred. Okay, Fred, I caught up to you, and I got to tell you something. It took me 3 hours and 45 minutes to drive here from Cleveland.
I hope this is worth your while.
Well, I heard everyone talks about Fred. Fred this, Fred that, Fred this, Fred that. And what do they call you, the sommelier?
Sommelier, yep.
Well, tell me, what's going on down here that everyone's talking about you? Is it just because you're such a good guy, or you got great wine too?
We got great wine. We have a great selection of Ontario wines, which are our #1 sellers because we're right here in Ontario, part of the wine region.
Boy, I saw vines and vineyards all over the place on the way here. So you're represented down here.
Yeah, it's amazing how much has changed in the last even 10 years. When we first came, years ago there was more peach trees and all apples and all that sort of stuff.
It used to be called Fruitland.
Yeah, exactly. So it's evolved crazily over the last 10 years especially.
Some of those German Rieslings you get a hold of over in Europe, they're like bone dry.
Yeah.
And it's totally different than anything you see around the States.
Our Rieslings here, you run from bone dry all the way up to the ice wines. Back here, come on over. So it's just more storage.
Oh, is this great?
The cellar holds about 5,000 bottles. It was built to hold about 5,000 bottles. Our total inventory is over 8,000, or around 8,000 bottles, pardon me, and 20% of what of our wine list actually is Ontario listings, but 70 to 75% of what we sell is actually Ontario wines.
How long have you been working here?
I started here in the late 70s as a dishwasher.
Wait, so how old are you? A million?
54.
Oh my goodness, you look like a kid.
Thank you,
It's unbelievable. So is it the good wine, the Canadian living, the food? What is it?
I like to eat well, I like to work out, and I like to, that's it. I'm lucky, I guess. Good genetics.
Yeah? Does your wife still love you?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
I think everyone else does. Like I said, when I came to the Prince of Wales Hotel, I was Fred this, Fred that, Fred this. So Find
Thank
Fred
you.
when you come to the place and check it out.
Thank you very much, David.
Hey, thanks a
Appreciate
lot.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, we have a whole lot more of New Day Cleveland, our very special show from Niagara-on-the-Lake, right after the break.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland, a very special show, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Chateau de Charm. What a beautiful place. I mean, it looks like someplace you'd see in France somewhere.
It is actually based on a chateau. The design is based on a chateau from the Loire region of France. It also has a little bit of the Canadian railway hotels mixed in.
How about that?
Paul realized how important they were to Canada.
You bring up Paul's name. Where does Paul fit in the family and the history of this?
Paul Bosque Sr. is our founder and our winemaker. He's still very active. He is in and out every single day. Paul Jr., his son, is our president.
So you talk about, you know, a big chateau-looking place. How many acres are we talking about?
A total of 280 acres under vine, 350 acres of property in total.
And this vineyard has been in operation a long time, the winery making wine for a long time. So where did that begin and where has it brought you today?
Well, it began for us in 1974 when Paul
This is
bought
Paul
his
right
first
here?
property. Yes, this would be Paul with one of his horses. Paul raises Egyptian Arabian horses in his spare time.
It's a good business.
It is a good business. And the stables are right across the street beside the house.
Okay, I keep hearing about ice wine because we're here
yes.
during the Ice Wine Festival.
Absolutely.
How do you guys fit into that?
Okay, we produce 4 different types of ice wine. Vidal, which is pretty much the one that everyone makes. Riesling, which is the one you just looked at. That's from the Paul Bosque estate right across the street. This wine has won numerous awards for us. We also make ice wine, red ice wine called Cabernet Franc. And last but not least, we also make ice wine from a grape called Savagnin. We are the only winery in the world using that for ice wine.
Wow, that's something else. So these are all shot glasses.
Yeah, well, depending on your drinking habits, yes.
Also, they're made by a company called
Schatz
SCHOTT.
Diesel.
I knew it.
Yep.
See, I know my wine glasses. I know them, Glenn. I'm telling you. So what's going on here? This is telling me that this place is one of the best. It's not only big, it's good.
It's good. We've won so many awards. We actually have some of them posted on the way into the basement.
Okay, now these are very special wines here, huh?
Oh, they are. Most special, at least in my heart and many others, is this one, which is our Aculeus.
It's got the horse's head on
Got
it.
the horse's head. It's actually line drawing of the mare over there. The Aculeus is made, again, from Paul's property right across the street, only in the best possible years. So we're making one for 2012. 2010 was before that. Before that, we skipped to 2007.
Okay, Glenn. So how many different wines do you make here?
About 31.
31. So if somebody comes here, and I saw there's a big parking lot out there, I saw some buses, and there's a lot to do here. I went down in the cellars, folks, and I tell you, you get lost down there if Glenn or somebody's not with you. How much time should you plan on spending here?
Oh, you can easily spend an hour here if you're taking one of our special programs. It could be longer, hour and a half to 2 hours.
And how about if you do the picnic? They pack a beautiful picnic basket. You go out in the vineyards, and if it's snowing like it is now during the Ice Wine Festival, you can have your picnic indoors in the rotunda looking out at the
Overlooking
vineyard.
the wines, yes. That can extend, especially during the summer, to 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because we take you on a full tour, do a bit of a wine tasting, you have lunch out under the trees. Take as long as you want.
This place will take your breath away. It is beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I'm going to head out of Chateau de Charm and head into the downtown area and do a little shopping now.
Excellent.
Kurtz is a family business, like many businesses in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and it is a fabulous, hopefully, tradition that I'm carrying on, and it comes from a passion that I have from the land. But that's where I learned to bring the fruits of our land to the consumer in a different package. We're more foodies than anything, and so we've packed our fruits and what we grow into jars, and that's sort of the basis of our story. This is our customer favorite. It was invented to be just with your bread, picking up a crusty baguette and putting it on that bread in lieu of butter on the side of your plate, or dipping oils on the side of your plate. This is what it was first invented for. But honestly, it has become so much more. Our customers tell us what to do with it now. They insist that it should be added to their hot cooked pasta. They insist that, you know what, you should put it on your seafood and then grill it in the oven. They insist that you should, put it on your baked potato or put it in your mashed potatoes. We started with jams and jellies. We started with converting the peach into a peach jam or the grape into a grape jelly. We have vineyards. We take it to the wineries and makes it into a wine, and then it comes back to us as ice wine jelly. This is a customer favorite, great paired with your favorite cheeses, so great with entertaining, or quite frankly, just eat it with a cracker. It's great by itself. And again, we're fans of specialty foods, so we pair our best that we consider being made by our family and being made in Canada with the best specialty foods that we find primarily in the States. You have to understand that food trends in our industry usually come from west to east. We're a little bit slower in the Cleveland, Niagara area to pick up on some of these things. This is a company called Lucero. It's one of my favorite products in the store. We don't make the products because, of course, we don't make balsamics too much here in the Niagara area yet. But with that said, this is the product line that you will have if you're a trendy foodie. You want to know what to do with balsamics, this is the company that you should try, and if you come here, you'll have the best balsamic experience. By giving them samples and giving them suggestions about what they can do in their own homes, we provide that little bit of nudge or encouragement to do something different at home.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland and our very special show from Niagara-on-the-Lake, and we're at a place called the Pillar and Post. It is a 4-star country and a beautiful place, and Paul McIntyre is here. General manager?
Correct.
The guy in charge, that's who he is. Well, anyway, this is one of those places where we need somebody to show us around because it is large, isn't it? Big place.
Absolutely. It's got 122 rooms and it's got a 13,000 square foot spa that we're very proud of.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about the spa. You know, I had a chance too when I walked in the front door. I saw this Christmas tree. Now it's not Christmas anymore. What's going on?
Well, we still got a little bit of 2012 holidays left to take down, but we're excited about 2013. Christmas is a wonderful place at Pillar and Post. It's absolutely spectacular, and it takes about 2 months to set up, and it takes about 3 weeks to take down. So
yeah.
It's a big tradition for us.
And also what Paul isn't giving up is he's got a guest that's coming, a big group, and they still like Christmas so much that they don't care if it's in April, right?
They don't care if it's in April, and they've requested for it to be up for the entire week that they are here.
Okay, so a lot of fireplaces. I went up into the casual dining area, and beyond that, what a beautiful formal dining area.
Thank
it's
you.
just a fantastic place. You know, something that really speaks to your hospitality too is, you know, we're talking about a 4-diamond place, 4-diamond country inn, but a lot of the locals come here also, don't they, to enjoy your hospitality?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, since the 1970s, the Pillar and Post has become almost an iconic place for quality and tradition. And the tradition is local, and the tradition is Americans and Canadians alike. It's wonderful.
So when it was created as a cannery how many years ago, nobody ever thought it would become this.
Absolutely not.
And who thought it would become Canada's #1 spa? That's amazing.
I always hoped. I always hoped. And,
Well, let's go find out why.
Wonderful. It's a great spa, and the one thing that's very unique about it is that it actually has 24 treatment rooms. And we can put a party of 8 all in at one time. And what's really exciting about that is that they can have lunch together, then they can have their massages together separately. They can go into the manicure, pedicure room together.
This is pretty amazing.
This is absolutely amazing.
It looks like a movie theater. How many seats are in there?
Oh, you have to sit in one of these chairs at some point, but there are 6. And we can do 6 people in the chairs, or we can do our pedicures 6 at a time. So a group of 12 can sit here and relax, sip a glass of wine from Niagara-On-The-Lake, one of our local vineyards, and enjoy both spawing and wine tasting all at the same time.
Talk about girls' day out, huh?
Oh, spectacular. And we do a lot of that. We do a lot of girls' getaways. We do a lot of couples retreats. And you can have that really quiet feeling of spa with a lot of people in our establishment.
How about those shy guys that never had a pedicure before? Huh? You can get 6 tough guys in here after a night with cigars and booze?
Well, you know what? 6 guys sitting in the chairs with a beer, they'll do it.
It doesn't sound bad.
They do it.
It's starting to appeal to me.
Yeah, me too.
So this is a lounge area.
You can be in this lounge anytime during the day. The one thing I think that is the most important to being a #1 spa is that you do not want to leave and you want to stay for the whole day. So you can have a
Really?
treatment, come back and relax, read, have something to eat, have another treatment, go to the hot springs, go to our saltwater pool, come back. You don't want to go.
Yeah.
And you don't have to.
Well, this is really something. I mean, all that, it seems like cozy warmth, and now you offer something a little different. Like, what do you call this kind of treatment?
This is our grotto hot springs, and this is actually quite iconic for the Pillar and Post. It's absolutely amazing. It's been here for over 15 years, and people line up to spend time in here, and it is open year round. It's an incredible part of the Pillar and Post, and people just, they really enjoy it. It's couples getaway, it's romantic, it's wonderful to sit out here in the middle of winter when the snow is coming down and snowflakes are dropping
great.
off your tongue. It's wonderful.
You come out, you go right down the steps, come out that little almost like a doggy door, but it's a people door, and
Yeah.
boom, you're out here in this beautiful atmosphere.
You can come out in here, and you don't really have to get cold.
Yeah.
You just stay on the inside and
It's
then
great.
slide into this hot springs.
Everything and anything you ever heard about that you can get at the spa is here and more.
Absolutely.
The name of the place?
Putter Fountain Spa.
Beautiful place at the Pillar and Post, right?
Correct.
I've got it right. How about that? Okay, folks, a whole lot more coming after the break. It's our special show from Niagara-on-the-Lake. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland, our special trip to Niagara-on-the-Lake. And this is about tasting wine too, right? So when I go out in the wine country, I want to go to a place to taste some great wine. I try to find that winemaker who does like the special things, the smaller guy, the guy who puts out a chalkboard that says open 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Welcome, come on in. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. Come on in and let's try Derek's wine. It's called Lely. Hey, I got to tell you something. I saw this label in a restaurant at the hotel where I'm staying, and it's a beautiful, simple little label. How'd you figure on that?
Well, you just something simple. I mean, the rose is very synonymous with grape growing. It's you see it in every vineyard around the world, and we just wanted you to know three things really. We wanted you to know where you were, when it was made, and what you was drinking.
Terrific.
And it's simple as that.
Okay, so I heard that you're a smaller winery. Let's open up this one and get a taste of it, and you get a chance to experiment more than some guys.
I do. We, being small, everything is sold through the front door of the property. We get to make wine and we hand sell it, and it's sort of a nice thing. We can make a lot of small lots of wine.
Yeah.
Just a few hundred cases of a lot of different things.
How many different kinds of wine do you make?
Most years around 30.
30.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful place too. I got to tell the folks at home when you pull in this place, if you can look across the street and see all the way out there, which you can't really today, the river's right there, the Niagara River. And boy, that is one big river. And I suppose that river has some environmental effect on you growing your grapes
Sure
here.
does. There's a little bit of an airflow all the while. As the river runs down, it moves the air. It doesn't let us get quite so cold as it does a little bit further away. And in the summertime, it keeps the nighttime a little bit cooler and allows us to make what we call cool climate wines.
Cool climate wines. So this is one of your favorites here, or how do you pick a favorite?
They're all my favorites. You get to like certain wines at times of the year, and this is one of those that we made some years ago for the first time in 2006, and this is a unique blend to us here in at Lely Vineyard. It's Syrah and Petit Verdot and Malbec, grape varieties that you don't see often in this part of the world.
Yeah.
It'll smell a little peppery.
It smells peppery, yeah. It smells delicious. You should pour one.
I should.
Now that is big.
It's a big wine.
Yeah.
And a good vintage, 2010 vintage that was pretty special here. Maybe the best vintage that we have had as long as I've been making wine. And
You know what I like? It's cool too. Talking about a small winemaker. He's got a small stash, but the stash is it's a good stash,
It's a
right?
good stash.
I want to show him. Let's check out your stash. Let's go in here. I know you use the word delicious for wine once in a while, don't you?
Just a little bit.
This,
Just a little bit.
this is delicious. I've been here a couple days. This is the best red wine I've had. And did you say there's a little Malbec in here also?
A little Malbec and a little Petit Verdot, and they're both grape varieties that grow well in Europe and obviously in South America, where they grow a fair bit of Malbec as well. So yeah, we grow it here. We've grown it for, I'm gonna say, 8 years now.
Hey, so when you go to make wine, like you're talking about blending wines right there, you're like a chef that says, should I put more pepper in it? Should I put more salt in it? Should I put more herb in it? Or it's sort of like that, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. We make a lot of wines here that are strictly one variety. So Chardonnay is just Chardonnay, and Cabernet Sauvignon is just Cabernet Sauvignon. But there are vintages where you do some blending, and you add Cabernet Sauvignon to Merlot, to Cabernet Franc, and maybe a little Malbec and Petit Verdot, and you're making wines a little bit softer or a little bit sweeter feeling, and sometimes you're making wines that give you a little more consistency from year to year in this climate where it's cool and sometimes not quite as nice as we'd like it. You know, you can change the percentages of what goes into that bottle of wine, and you can make it very consistent from year to year.
And that is why you come to a small winery to talk to the winemaker. So if you want to learn something about wine, you just learn a lot right there. Just in a little second, Derek.
Just in a little while.
You smarten me up.
Hey.
And I tell you what, you served me some delicious wine. I'd like to buy some of that from you too.
Cheers.
Okay, folks, guess what? We're going to find out what foods to pair with this beautiful wine.
This evening we're at a winemaker's dinner, and we're at Lely Winery. It's part of our winemaker experience at Vintage Hotels, where we have our hotel team come out to the winery. Our executive chef comes out and he does the food, and it pairs with the wines from our local winemaker.
What we're fixing tonight is a Ontario goat cheese, which is unpasteurized, going with a Quebec foie gras. The flavors really pell well off together, the fattiness and everything else together. We've got heirloom beets, which have been pickled sous vide, some quince, and then a bit of Vidal jelly.
I just introduced the first wine. This is a select late harvest Vidal. Maybe some of you are not used to drinking sweet wines with your first course. This is a wine that is picked just before ice wine time, and it is just a little less sweet than ice wine. Balances super well with the dish that is being paired with, more for the acidity level in the wine, which is helping bring the rich flavors of the dish out, and also that little bit of sweetness will balance off just really, really well.
So the second dish we have tonight is an heirloom carrot and chestnut salad. So we've taken some heirloom carrots, we've cooked them sous vide. So we have the 3 different colors that are on there. For different texture, we have some purees of the carrots themselves. Going with texture as well, we have the walnuts that have been poached, as well as a puree made up out of it. And then we have a Vidal ice wine gel and an ice wine jelly.
The second course is served with a Sauvignon Blanc 2011. This is a wine that is completely dry, got quite a lot of acidity, but no residual sugar. This is a wine that will bring out the flavors of the salad and balance with a little late harvest reduction, a little bit of acidity, a little bit of sweetness. They go so well together.
This actual experience is an exclusive experience where you would book in for the winemaker's dinner, because we do try to sell experiences, and part of the experience is staying with us at Queen's Landing, Pillar and Post, or the Prince of Wales.
Now, is that a beautiful sight or what? It's called Queen's Landing, one of the beautiful hotels in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and it sort of looks like a big old Georgia mansion with a hotel surrounding it on the lake. And I'm with Lily Kazan right now, who's the general manager. And this is a grand place, and it's not as old as it looks, is it?
It's not as old as it looks. It's a 20-year-old building, and of course you were talking about the front entrance, which is the front of 142 rooms that we have here at Queen's Landing. And right now we're just walking into our main restaurant, which is the Tiara restaurant.
Well, on the way to getting to this restaurant, I noticed a room that was very inviting. Dark, full of books, comfy seats, a lot of comfy seats around here. I walk around this hotel all day going like this, check it out. Oh,
I do that too.
That's a nice chair. I love the building in that it has a lot of light. You know, I've been visit a lot of places in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and they're all, you know, the tight, cozy places, not too many windows and that sort of thing. But this has a great openness to it, doesn't it?
Queen's Landing is the most modern hotel in our collection, and it is known for being very open and airy, and of course we overlook the water.
Sailboats, water, and this has got to be a beautiful view in the summertime also.
It is. We're looking at the harbor front here. This is the Niagara River that we're looking at.
Oh, this is the Niagara River.
It is the Niagara River, yes. It's nice to be this close to the water and also just be a few minutes away from the Shaw Festival and many, many wineries.
You know, this is probably a good time to bring up the fact that I think a lot of folks in Cleveland, they drive here, they probably think, I talk about Niagara-on-the-Lake, they think about Niagara Falls. We're a long way from Niagara Falls, aren't we? I mean, there's no association really other than the name of the river here.
Just an experience. We're a long way from Niagara Falls. This is a little bit more of an adult experience, and it truly is an absolute getaway. When you come here, you feel like you are in the Muskokas or somewhere along those lines where it's just comfortable and casual. You could walk. It's a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere.
Walking around from here, I could walk right into the main village then from here.
Absolutely, in about a minute and a half.
Oh, that means 2 minutes for me, right?
2 minutes for you, no problem. Or we could shuttle you. We do have shuttle service available at all of our hotels. It takes you anywhere in town. So
Queen's
you don't
Landing,
have to.
right?
Queen's Landing, and at the Pillar, and at the Prince. So if you want to go to a winery, you don't have to worry about anything. Just park your car and go.
Check it out. Well, you know what I'm going to do is I think I might take the shuttle today because it's snowing a little bit, you know, Ice Wine Festival time of year and all that, because I'm going to go do some shopping. Good idea?
I could drive you. I'll come with you.
Maybe I'll do that. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
You're lovely.
Thank you.
Saw the sign that said Beau Chapeau on it, and I came in and I met Kimberly. How do you do?
I'm very well.
You know, I think about the Canadians. I always think like about hunting moose, maple syrup, freezing, Sergeant Preston, all this kind of stuff. So you know, you get down to all that stuff. It's about keeping warm, right?
That's right.
And they say you're supposed to start at the top.
That's right.
Okay, so what do we do to stay warm? Like, is there a hat in here that's particularly Canadian to keep your head warm?
For sure. Just right over this way.
What do we got? Oh no, they get the maple leaf on it.
Yeah, so trapper hats, they keep you nice and warm. They're all wool on the outside.
Look at
and then you
that.
got nice rabbit fur on the inside.
Let me see one of these.
Yeah, try that on.
You think I should try this on?
Yeah, why not? Let's
My
see.
kids see this.
They all come
if my
sized.
kids see this show, they'll be mad at your dad. Dad, why did you put that hat on? I just did it for TV. Okay, so there's that.
Yeah, and as if they're not warm too, they're actually quite soundproof when you're wearing fur.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
I mean, these are the hats that most guys wear, right? But these are all like sports hats.
That's right.
Okay, so look at all the hats down here, folks. This is just amazing. All kinds, colors, fabrics, that sort of thing. So are these beaver hats?
They are wool felts.
Wool felt.
So.
'Cause they used to make these out of beavers, right?
Yeah, they did. They did. There's silk ones too.
Pretty good? No, not really. What's the most popular styles?
Most popular styles, I would say, are the fedoras just right here. So we've got the beautiful Biltmores, and they're fur felts, they're rabbit fur.
Show me the ladies' hats now. We've had enough clowning around over here with me. Let's get down to business for the ladies at home.
Well, lots of one-of-a-kinds. We've got a designer in Toronto that makes hats for us. So.
This one's wacky, huh?
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's
got
pretty
some
too.
Beautiful, all different finishes. Yeah, so it just depends on your body type and.
How about you? What do you call that thing?
This is a beret.
It's a beret. It's got like a big flower on it, kind of
Yeah,
thing?
so it's a pretty close-fitting one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Getting toward the end of my trip, Niagara-on-the-Lake. I'm starting to feel bad, but I don't want other people to feel good about it, Audrey. So I want to take them something sweet. I'm in Greaves right now. We've got what? All kinds of sweet stuff, right?
All kinds of good local sweet stuff, for sure.
And little stuff, so I can buy something for everyone. And I noticed this because I noticed everything in a bottle. This is called Jalapeno Chardonnay Drizzle. What is
Another
that?
local manufacturer too. That is as sweet and savory because of the jalapeno
It's got
drizzle.
jalapeno in it, huh?
You can put it on ice cream. I don't know if you've had anything spicy on ice cream before, but it's great.
Is that good?
Really good. You can put it on chicken or pork. Use it as a glaze.
That is great.
It's
Okay,
good stuff.
I might get one of these.
Yeah, you don't have to commit to a big jar. Everything here is this is our company, Greaves. It's made right up the street, 5 minutes down the road. That's where we produce.
So what do you think the big favorite is? What's your favorite?
You're right in front of all four of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I was lucky.
Black currant, raspberry, peach, and strawberry. I've been here almost 25 years, and Everything's been my favorite at one time, but I have to tell you, strawberries always in my fridge.
Yeah.
As
so what
boring as that
do you
sounds.
get them with seeds or without seeds? What's the best?
Jam has seeds in it. It has the whole fruit or large pieces of the fruit, and that's what makes it a jam.
Okay.
A jelly is made with the juice of the fruit, so it's clear, and if you like it without the seeds, we have that option too.
You took me to school. Thank you.
I did.
Who knew? Cheese secrets? I never knew cheese had secrets, but the big cheese is going to tell us about that. This is called Cheese Secrets, right, Eugene?
That's the name of this place,
And
yes.
somebody said you know everything there is to know about cheese, and you're fun to talk to.
I try to entertain and try to serve my customers the best I can.
Okay, so I'm looking for a little cheese. I don't know what I like. You've got all these to choose from. I know I like blues. I know I like creamy kind of cheeses. I know I like some mild sheep kind of cheeses. What do you recommend I try?
What are you drinking?
What am I drinking? That's a good idea to think about like that. How about starting off with like a crisp Chardonnay?
A crisp Chardonnay?
Yeah.
Nice and not too over the top oaky?
Yeah, not too oaky.
Yeah, I would take something like this, which is a 2-year-old raw milk cheddar from Prince Edward Island.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I like that. Now what if I was gonna have, I move on, maybe I had myself like a red wine, like a Cabernet.
If you had a really, really strong Cabernet, again, what you need to do is either complement the wine and lift it up, or go head to head with it. And I'll give you two choices there.
Are these local also?
These are Ontario cheeses. This cheese here, the first one we tried, is from New Brunswick. This one is from Ontario, from the Lake Huron area. It's a 7-year-old cheddar. Now, it'll stand up to the strongest red that you could throw at it.
What makes a Canadian cheese so good?
Just years and years of practice. It's the influence of the French and it's the influence of the
That is great.
of the English. This one here, it's sort of a foil for your heavy red wine. It's called 1608, and it's a very interesting cheese in that 1608 has been proven to be the cows that this milk comes from are the genetic offspring of the cows that Samuel de Champlain brought to the New World in the 1600s.
Wow. Hey, I want to show you guys something else too.
Okay.
You know, you go in these stores and you see some cool ideas. This is a cool idea. He's got these in all different sizes too. These are from barrels, right?
And these barrels here are all in wine, from wine barrels that was used to make wine right here in Ontario. And makes a board that won't split and dry out.
There you go. So this is how you serve it to your folks at home?
That's how you would do it
and
to
it
your
is
folks
beautiful.
at home.
This is the 18th annual Ice Wine Festival here in Niagara-On-The-Lake, and it's an annual celebration of the finest of the ice wines from the area. But over the years, it's really taken on a life of its own to reflect also the wonderful cuisine here in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and right here in the great shopping district, in the Heritage District of Niagara-on-the-Lake. It has a great tone to it. Our area restaurants, the signature kitchens, have gotten together, and each of the chefs has created a signature martini, cocktail, something that incorporates ice wine and shows it off to its best advantage.
So we have here our Ravine Pop and Cherry. It's Saint Germain, which is an elderflower liqueur, cherry brandy, Cabernet Franc ice wine, a little bit of lime squeezed in there.
So you have the opportunity to taste those great cocktails and then to taste some of the culinary delights that they pair with the ice wine as well.
I have a wild game stew. It has wild boar, venison, a little bit of oxtail to take away from the game, a bottle of Cab Franc ice wine.
Which always helps.
Yeah, that always helps. Fingerling potatoes, honey beach mushrooms, and some braised cabbage.
We're able to close the street and really turn it into a dramatic ice wine village, something that really is dedicated solely to the celebration of ice wine and great Niagara-on-the-Lake culinary delights.
Yes, I love the venison.
It's the gamey stuff. It's kind of wild boar.
So here this evening, you'll see we have tents. We have 2 wineries operating from each of the tents. We have restaurants as well. We're all outdoors. This is Canada in January.
Liquid campfire with white chocolate, ice wine. I can't even do it straight.
Liquid campfire with white chocolate, ice wine, vodka, roasted marshmallows, and a white chocolate straw.
Hi.
I'm the brains, she's the looks.
I built that campfire down there though.
I'm going for the cotton candy ice wine martini.
Everything about wine calls for a great time.
But it's glorious out here this evening. And you know, it's a wonderful time, and there's always something different.
It's worth being cold. It's awesome out here. We're having a great time. And it's awesome. They've got great tastes out here. They've got different mixologies. They've got different kinds of ice wines. It's awesome. It's just a great time.
Yeah, the mulled wine I was hearing good things about.
You know, even if you don't come on this particular celebration of the weekend, there are other ice wine activities being held at the various wineries every day throughout the month of January. And in our shops, they're also celebrating ice wine by having tastings right in the shops themselves. So really, you need to look ahead, look at the website, Niagara-On-The-Lake.com, find out what's happening, and please come and visit.
We are making the Swedish Berry Ice Wine Martini. So what's in that is we have a 50-50 mixture of banana liqueur and our Cab Franc ice wine available at Peller. And then we also have our ice cuvee. We top it with a world-famous Swedish berry.
It's a celebration of locals, really. A lot of the people here know one another, and those who don't are perhaps new to ice wine product. They're visitors from the United States, from other provinces, and they want to learn more about the product. So they're talking with the winemakers, with the chefs.
The magic of ice wine? Well, you'll have to drink some and find out. We absolutely love it here.
Listen to that music come out of the hotel. They're still having a good time here in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And I got to tell you, the Ice Wine Festival started off as a one weekend celebration a long time ago. Then it went to a whole week, then 2 weeks, and 3 weeks. And I tell you, I think Niagara-on-the-Lake is a good time year round. You know, when you come down here, we talk about the 32 different wineries. That's just Niagara-on-the-Lake. That's not just Ontario. There's hundreds of them. So if you like wine and going to wineries, there's all kinds, from the Derrick size one, the small one, Laley, all the way up to the biggest thing you can imagine. And of course, food. Boy, they've paired up that local food here in Niagara-on-the-Lake like nowhere else. Just terrific food. I just love the restaurants here, and plenty of shopping. And don't forget, if you're a history buff, this is a great place too, because it was way back in time with plenty of great stories to tell. And like I said, just 3 hours and 45 minutes from Cleveland, a nice, easy drive, a nice drive, and you're gonna love it. And don't forget, this is not Niagara Falls. This is Niagara-on-the-Lake, a beautiful spot. I'm David Moss, and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.
This is where it's at. It's most delicious out of all the ice wines here.
It's bringing all these people together in January. It's snowing and blowing normally, and it's like just celebrate the region.
Ice wine, it's very tasty.
Very tasty.
Very tasty.
Very tasty.
Flavorful, sweet, and what else can you ask for? Put it with vodka and you're awesome.